everybody. Navy Vet 76 in the living room. For those of you who follow me, you probably noticed I haven't done any videos in a few weeks. There's been things going on, and I really haven't had much to make any content on. I've been working on a few projects, and thought I'd show you a couple, and then eventually we'll get them out to the range after the holidays, probably. One of them is my M16A1 project, and I thought it was pretty cool. You can probably see there's this faint stock numbers on there, and I assembled all the parts in the parts kit and put this together. It was a pretty easy build. There are so many videos on this that I just didn't feel like making a video on the process. It's not something that hasn't been done many times before on YouTube. But this is a facsimile of the firearm that was used during my era in the military. I was in the Navy, so I never handled this in the Navy. But when I was in the Army National Guard, I had the opportunity to fire this weapon a few times with the M16. This is basically an AR-15 with M16A1 parts. Now, in the parts kit, you got the buttstock, the handguard, you got the gas tube, you got the upper receiver, you got the hand grip, you got all the internals and the bolt, the muzzle brake, the front sight. I don't know if I missed anything or not, but the majority of the parts on this gun are M16A1 minus the auto sear. It is a Colt upper. I got a Colt parts kit. I don't know where these came from, but I can tell you the plastic on this, there's no cracks anywhere. There's a little bit of a slop back here on the stock. It doesn't really concern me much. The buffer tube, the spring, everything is the original M16. I'm rather excited to take this out to the range to shoot it. There are a couple of tools I had to have to put this together correctly. One was a torque wrench, and the other is a special wrench that you use to put this together and disassemble. And I was worried about getting everything lined up, and it came together pretty well. And the proof will be when I actually take it out to the range. Now the lower is not Colt. It's a H&R lower, and I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but it's got really cool markings on it, and it says, it actually says, property of the U.S. government, M16A1, caliber 5.56 mm, and then the serial number. Now, I know H&R made M16s back in the day, but this is a remake of the receiver, and it fit perfectly. There was absolutely no problems fitting this together. It was so easy to put together. My issue was just waiting on what I needed to do the assembly. So I just got a 10 round. I just bought a little 10 round mag for it, just to take it out to the range. You know, it's pretty cool. The barrel came from Werndl. I didn't actually use the front sight. I bought a barrel assembly and from Werndl's, and then put, of course, the gas tube and the birdcage muzzle brake are original. And I mean, it fit. Everything fit. It's amazing. It's so light compared to all my other guns. You know, I'm a milcirc collector, and I'll do parts kits, as you know. And I always wanted to do this, and finally, my Christmas present to me, I got all the parts I could and put this together. And it is a part of my military service, only a very small part. Not like others of my fellow veterans who actually were in battle and actually had to use this thing. Me, I just got to play with it on the gun range at Camp Atterbury when I did a little stint in the Army National Guard. And I really never knew how to take it apart, didn't know how to clean it. I was never taught that because I got into the Army National Guard prior service, which means I didn't have to go to boot camp. So I didn't know diddly squat about the Army. But they gave me a uniform and said, "Welcome to the Army National Guard." So that's where I got a quick lesson on where the trigger was, where the selector switch was, and where the magazine was, and how to point it downrange, which I already knew. I'm a farm boy. I grew up on the farms and I always have been around guns. So those are the basic things I already knew how to do. And but to actually get into, like, I've been into firearm military surplus for a while now, and so I'm more involved in the way things work, and I'm fascinated in how these individual guns work. And when I actually got into how this gun actually works, I'm going, man, this works similar to an SKS or an AK, the way the gas system works, and it's very simple. So yeah, I'm really liking this, and if you got the time or the inclination to do so, you should check these out. You know, real easy. There's no machining or anything involved, and you know the cool part is the faint lettering from the rack numbers, which you know, I'm never going to take any of that off. I used a little bit of Armor All on the plastic to kind of clean it up a little bit, and that worked pretty good. Now this one has the trap door in the buttstock. I want to get a cleaning kit that goes in there just because I can. And if I ever do find a Colt lower, I'll be switching it out, putting the Colt on there, so the whole thing will actually be Colt. And I don't know if they even make them anymore, or if I could get a demilled one somewhere and re-weld. I've seen some re-welds out there. That's something I may do in the future. But right now, I just want to shoot it. I also saw that these came, and some of them were used in combat that had a little tiny scope that went into the carry handle. And I'm a little intrigued by that. And that's something I may add on to this. I'm going to play with it for a while. Now this is a 1 in 12 twist barrel, which is what the A1 was. And so it takes the lighter bullet, 55 grain bullet. That much I do know from my research. And if you use a heavier bullet, according to what I've read, they don't stabilize well. So yeah, when the weather gets better, I'll be taking this out to the range and seeing how it works. So another project I've been working on, as you know, I'm into the old black powder stuff, is my Werndl, which I can't get it all into the camera. And you guys are probably familiar with how the Werndl works. You can see it's a rotary breech, and that's cool, you know. Originally a black powder gun. Cartridges of the World suggests IMR 4198 at I think it's 31 grains, but I'm using a trapdoor bullet, which is a 405 grain weight bullet, and I'm going to use that to actually fire form my cartridges. I used a special tool I made to expand the neck, and so I don't have to actually fire form first. I can fire form and shoot at the same time. Now, this is a 348 Winchester brass, and it goes in the chamber, and I'm using several different dies. So just to get this to work, just cobbled some dies together, and I've got it to where I get it to load and everything, and my crimp, I got to work on how to get it to crimp, because everything's figured out but the crimp. Now these 348 Winchesters are about 100,000 short of the original cartridge. The other parent case they were saying you could use is 5110, I believe, and those are hard to find. Yeah, these were hard to find. I got these on Gunbroker, and they weren't cheap. So, you know, when I crushed, my first mistake was I annealed one, and then ran my neck sizer through there to expand in my neck expander that I made, and it crushed it because it was too soft. So you do not anneal these first. If you do it my method of neck expanding, and it works pretty well. So that's the other thing I'm going to do. I did a chamber cast just so I could see what the chamber was like. I also did another, this is basically like this, but it was so long I couldn't do it in one pour. So here's the where the end of the chamber is and where the rifling starts, so I could get a measurement on the groove diameter, and that came out to 453 thousandths. So my 4570 bullets, they drop at, I think it's 460, something like that. So all I gotta do is resize those, and I'm gonna run probably about 10 of them through here just to see how it shoots, and then I'll go from there. I got a whole bag of these, and I'll see how it shoots. So this is a really cool gun. You can see on that front sight, there's a screw here, and this is on a dovetail, which I like because it appears that I can loosen that screw and I can adjust for windage that way. It has a fixed front sight. You can't drift the front sight on this. Bayonet lug, and it's missing the, wait a minute, yeah, it's missing the cleaning rod. It does have unit marks on here. I'm sure none of that's going to show up on camera, but and it's got some lettering up here, and it says Werndl, and it says ST70 up here on the barrel, and you know, this is a pretty cool gun the way this is made, and this rotary breech system is pretty unique, and the bore is really pristine on this. And the other thing too is the extractor down there, and I know you can't see it, but if I hit this like that, the extractor comes out and pushes the case out of there. If I hit it hard enough, it'll just fly out. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So that's the other thing I'm working on, is my Werndl. So I'm really, really excited to get out and try these. You I got some other things. I got an Enfield that, it's kind of boring. You've all seen that. And, I really, as far as new things, I don't have a lot of new stuff going on, and I'm open to suggestions. If there's things you'd like for me to do for you, I can do some reloading or whatever YouTube will allow me to do. And if not, you can go to Rumble. I have a channel set up there, but it's not Navy Vet 76. When I did the Rumble account, I kind of completely screwed it up, and I don't know how to edit to switch it to where it says Navy Vet 76 instead. So if I can figure that out, that'd be great. But I do have a Rumble channel, and if you're interested in things that YouTube won't allow, just get a hold of me and I'll give you the link to the Rumble channel. Or if you just want to go to the Rumble channel, I'll give you that link, but there's nothing there that you haven't already seen. But yeah, reach out. Reach out with your questions. If you have criticisms or corrections, please let me know. Do so politely, or I will ignore you. I appreciate your watching my channel. I know I'm not like a lot of the other channels. I don't really want to get in too much into the modern firearms. It's just not my thing, although I do have a few. And I have reviewed the guns I own. I don't really care about, I don't get paid to do this. I don't really care. I do it as a record for me. I mean, a lot of times I don't remember how I did something, and I don't remember how it shot or what the grouping was. And I can always go back and look. And my biggest fear is YouTube will delete my content. So I started moving stuff over to Rumble just to back it, just so I have a backup. But that's all I got. Shout out to Koba 49. He's been doing a lot of stuff lately, a lot of modern stuff. Not really my gig, but he's more into the new stuff, and he makes money from his channel. And but when I first got started collecting, he was one of the guys I follow. Learned a lot about reloading for the old guns from him. And so I recommend you go see his channel. I follow so many different gun channels, firearms channels. A lot of it is my interest when it's what I'm working on or where my interests lie. I like to follow these people. Forgotten Weapons has been a big resource. Osiris and May, their channel is awesome. CNR Arsenal. Just a lot of really good content out there. Very professional content. My content, not so much. I try. I'm learning. I'm a little slow with technology, but I'm learning, and I'm trying to improve my my content a little bit. Unfortunately, when I get out to the range, there's things I just can't control. I'll be doing videos sometimes, and there's so many people shooting that, you get a lot of that in my content. And I apologize for that, but I can't control that. And I have no other place to really go that doesn't involve other gun enthusiasts like myself. I don't own land that I can just shoot on. And that can kind of be a downer, but you guys that follow me, you know that. You know how it is. So I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope all is well with all of you. And I'm really excited about these two firearms, and so that's where I'm at. I'm just working on load development for this gun, the Werndl, and then I just finished putting this one together, and I can't wait to shoot this. just bring back memories of my days in the National Guard, which were not that much. I was only in there for a couple of years. And so, y'all have a good day. I'll see you out at the range.